Over the last 18 months, I've continually improved my indoor cycling setup to improve the comfort, make it easier and more comfortable to use, and overall just make it a more enjoyable experience. Because if you enjoy doing something, you'll do more of it. But of course this means I've spent more money than I would have done if I'd known exactly what to buy right at the start. But now I feel like I've got pretty much the perfect setup until, the next gadget comes out, of course. And I thought I'd take the time to share with you what I think you should buy if you are starting out on Zwift today. Let's start with probably the first thing that you need to buy, and that's a bike and a trainer. More than 3 years ago, I actually bought a Zwift Hub, and I did the sum total of about 100 miles on that. So I hardly used it at all. And the reason for that was that every time I wanted to use it, I had to take my outdoor bike, take the wheel off, put it onto the Zwift Hub, set it up, log into Zwift, and so on and so forth. And actually, all of that just provided, all of the excuses that I needed not to do it. But then I picked up an injury, a knee injury, which meant that I couldn't run anymore. So cycling became really the only form of exercise I was doing. And as winter was approaching, I realised I needed to relook at an indoor cycling setup. So having learnt from this previous mistake, I decided to take a different approach, and I bought a wheel-on trainer, a Tax Vortex. So basically this just meant that you didn't have to take the wheel off the bike, you just put the whole bike onto the trainer and away you went. And that worked for about 3 months. I mean, honestly, it was fine for group rides, ERG workouts, but whereabouts it started to show its limitations because it's not as accurate from a power point of view, and I found it not as easy to control as a smart trainer is. In racing, and especially in team time trials, I found it really difficult to get a maintained power output so that I could stay in the line during the TTTs. And also I found that it would slip occasionally. It wasn't that accurate, and it just I ruined the racing experience for me. So I thought I really need to find a way to upgrade this. So I suppose what I could have done is just bought a smart trainer and used the outdoor bike that I'd bought to use indoors and put that on the smart trainer. But during my research, I came across the Zwift Ride and I was tempted. In the end, I justified the nearly £1,200 it cost to buy the Zwift Ride for the following reasons. Number one, it's designed for the job. So I sold my wheel-on trainer and the outdoor bicycle, and this gave me some money back, which kind of covered the cost of the Zwift Ride frame. I was going to buy a smart trainer anyway, so doing, what I like to call man maths, it pretty much worked out for me that it was going to be a neutral cost. It wasn't, but that's how I justified it. And of course, the benefits that come with the Zwift Ride is the virtual shifting. So that's been a game changer for me. And of course, you've got the controls right there under your fingertips for the game as you are riding. So that makes it super convenient. So the whole thing is just a very good experience when you're using it in Zwift. And to a lesser extent, it also works in the other cycling apps. So it integrates the virtual shifting natively with Rouvy. And there is a hack that you can use it in MyWhoosh and various other cycling platforms. So it wasn't that I was limited by buying the Zwift Ride either. And honestly, it's probably the best money that I've ever spent on any kind of fitness item. It has been consistently ready to go. It removes all of those excuses and just gets me on the bike. So if I was starting again, I'd save myself the Zwift Hub cost, I'd save myself the wheel-on trainer cost, I'd save myself the outdoor bike that I bought to put on the wheel-on trainer cost, all of that about £1,000, and I'd just go out and buy the Zwift Ride straight from the start. And if you're interested, you can get that benefit too, but pay less money than I did. There's some affiliate links in the description below that'll give you 10% off. So once you've got your trainer of choice, the next thing to do is decide which app you're going to use. There's a few to choose from. There's Zwift, MyWhoosh, Training Peaks Virtual, Rouvy, and they all have their own following and people like them for different reasons. But I'll talk about the two main ones, which are Zwift and Rouvy, certainly in terms of users at least. And while they essentially do the same thing, provide an environment for you to ride in, they are quite different in the way that they deliver that. So Rouvy, if you don't know, is based around outdoor cycling videos. So it's real life videos from real life roads and real life routes. So it feels more like you're riding outdoors, I suppose, whereas Zwift is a CGI generated, sort of more gamified experience. And there's people who like one and there's people who like the other. Personally, for me, I can see the benefits of both. But if I was starting again, I think I would take advantage of the free trials. So Zwift offers a 14-day free trial if you sign up for a monthly subscription, or if you sign up for an annual subscription, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can get almost a month of trying the product before you are actually committed to buy it. Rouvy, on the other hand, offers a 7-day free trial. But if you fancy trying Rouvy, you can up that to a 5-week free trial using the code CHADRIDES when you sign up for a monthly subscription for a single user. Just go to their website and register and you'll be able to add that in. So for the benefit of comparison, you can get up to a month free trial on Zwift, and with the code, you can get 4 weeks free trial on Rouvy. And I would take advantage of that. Try them both thoroughly and see which one you prefer. I subscribe to both, mainly because I've got an indoor cycling channel, but I doubt that you'll want to pay for both environments. Personally, I use Zwift more than I use Rouvy, but I think that's predominantly down to the fact that I started on Zwift, I got into some racing teams, and therefore I have sort of racing commitments within those teams that keeps me coming back to Zwift. But I do keep on going back to Rouvy because I do like the look and feel of it. So, you know, maybe try them both. Let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, we've got our trainer setup, we've got our choice of indoor cycling environment. The next thing for me was music. I do like to ride to music. I find it sort of, it's a bit of a distraction, sort of takes your mind off how much it's hurting. And I would always, by preference, listen to it on speakers, but that's not always possible. You know, other things are going on in the house, it can be quite noisy, and so on and so forth. So headphones are a must. And I've tried all of the different types. I tried the over-ear ones. I found them too hot and too sweaty and just uncomfortable actually quite quickly. Earbuds I've tried, both AirPods and Galaxy Buds with my different phones or iPads. And I found that those just didn't feel as if they were going to stay in. And in fact, a couple of times, one or both of them fell out when I was, going for that sprint. So not the best experience. So I did some research and I came across these bone conductor earphones from Shocks. These are called the Open Run 2, and they've been brilliant. I use them when I'm on Discord with the team, when we're talking about strategy before and during the race. And I listen to music through them as well. The sound's good, the volume's fine, the microphone is very good, and they're really comfortable, and I hardly notice that I'm wearing them, no matter how long I've been on Zwift. So for me, those are the headphones that I would recommend, and having tried all of the other types of headphones and spent money on those, I wish I'd just bought these first. If you're interested in them, I've left links for everything that I talk about today in the description below. The next thing that I'd do if I was starting again is I'd think a bit more about comfort. When I first got the Zwift Ride, I actually ended up with quite a lot of, saddle soreness. It's not uncommon. It's a hot environment when you're cycling indoors, so sweat builds up and, things start to rub, let's say. So the first thing I did was I looked at this tennis ball hack. There's a couple of videos on my channel about it. I'll leave links in the description below if you want to have a look at that in more detail. But really, I think what I would start with now, knowing what I know, is a rocker plate. The rocker plate just is a step up from the tennis ball hack, in my opinion. It gives you much more natural movement with the bike. The one that I've got is Omni Rocker. There's a review of it on the channel, so if you want to have a look at that, again, I'll leave a link to the video in the description below. But it has improved comfort no end, and the rocker plate has also improved my power output. Even though I'm not at my fittest at the moment, just kind of getting back into it after some time doing other things and being able to cycle less, I put out my best power outputs I've ever done only a week or two ago. So it definitely helps from that point of view. But the comfort bit is the bit that I really like, because if you're more comfortable on the bike, you'll train more, and if you train more, you get fitter, and all of it just becomes this sort of positive virtual circle. So definitely for me, a rocker plate would be high up on my list of things that I was going to buy when I first started out. The fifth thing is keeping yourself cool, and that requires some fans, at least one. And in my case, I've now got two, and that is actually where I would start now if I was starting all over again. There is a video, again, talking about fans, which I'll leave a link to, but essentially I've got a Vacmaster Cardio 54, which was the first fan that I bought back when I first started. That's not actually true. The first fan that I had was just a stand fan, you know, a normal sort of office type fan, but that really didn't do it, not powerful enough, didn't keep me cool enough. So I went out and bought something built for purpose. And that's what I absolutely would suggest that you should do. The Cardio 54 is excellent for that. You can have it on the floor and it kind of points directionally up at you to keep you cool. Or indeed, it's got Visa fittings, a bit like you get on your television. So you could wall mount it or put it on a stand as well if you want it in a different position. So it's flexible, it's got a remote control, which is the only thing that I've had a problem with actually. That did fail and I had to buy a new one, but for £20 it wasn't, you know, such a big deal. But it's been a very reliable fan. The other one that I've got is the Cycplus fan, which is a smart fan. So this is a bit cleverer. It's also a little bit stronger and a little bit quieter, but of course it is a bit more expensive. You can get a discount from them. There's a link in the description below through an affiliate code again, but you know, it is more expensive than the Vacmaster. But for me, it's worth it. The smart mode links to the sensors for speed, power and heart rate, and then uses its own algorithm, I guess, to try and give you the optimal amount of cooling that you need depending on the amount of exertion that you're putting out. The only time that I found that that particular mode doesn't particularly deliver enough is if you're climbing and your speed drops. So all I do then, it's got remote control, is I just pop it onto manual mode and whack it up to full power. So very usable. You can use it as a manual one, you can use it as a smart one. Definitely I would recommend it. So again, if I was starting all over again, probably two fans. I have one in front of me and one at the back, but then, you know, I'm quite a hot and sweaty person. You might not suffer as badly as I do. So there you go. If I was starting on Zwift all over again, those are the things that I would go out and buy. If I knew then what I know now, that's what I would do. And those would be my recommendations for the products that I've bought, spent my own money on, and have used for many months now. I've put links for all of the items that I've mentioned today in the description below. Some of them even have affiliate codes, which means that you could save some money and get a bit of a discount, and the channel would earn a small commission as like an introductory fee, if you like, which helps support keeping the channel going in the future. Let me know what you think to those recommendations. In fact, let me know if you've got a different setup. It would be really useful for other viewers of the video to see what everybody else has. And I look forward to reading your comments and I'll respond to them all. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I guess you might have done, since you're still here. And if you're interested in knowing more about the Zwift Ride, this next video, my 10,000 kilometer review, might be of interest for you.